Good morning, everyone. Oh, wait, but before that, I think I got a notification from my IG. Wait, let me just read it real quick. Okay. So, was this scenario familiar to all of you? Maybe it is. Because, from my experience, this happened many times. Because I use social media and sometimes I chat with my friends in social media. And from social media, my chat can go a long way. And from my experience, sometimes I get called out by my mom for doing house chores and some other stuff. And sometimes when I'm talking in social media and chatting with other person, my attention is derived towards the social media. And so sometimes I don't hear what my mom says. And one times I got caught, two times I got caught, and then all of a sudden I got screamed out by my mom, and I was so shocked because how can social media be so addictive that my mom made me shout so that she can get my attention. So this is what drives me to want my research. Okay, so first is good morning. First and foremost, good morning to adjudicators, Miss Annie, advisors, Mr. Rudy, parents, and my fellow friends. Today, I'm going to be presenting to you guys about my research. Okay, so first up is my research question. So my research question that I chose is Introductions of Social Media and Social Ignorance. As you can see, there are two highlighted words, which is social media and social ignorance, being two of my variables. From this research question, there are two questions that I deducted. First of all is, how does social media actually influence or affect a student's social ignorance? And the second question is, how does social media actually make students lazy to communicate to others face-to-face or in real life? So, the objective of my research is to know does social media actually influence the students' social awareness and social ignorance. Okay, so first of foremost, I want to discuss about the theories and definition. So, for the theories of social media, for the ignorance, What is ignorance? Well, from the study that I conducted in my research, there are two types of ignorance that I researched. First and foremost is social ignorance. So basically, social ignorance is when you are too focused on doing something, your work, your social media, or maybe other things that you are not focused and not aware about the things that are surrounding you, of the things that are going on around you. Next is about plural ignorance. So basically, plural ignorance is when you are with a group of friends and you are the minority in your group of friends. So for example, you are with your group of friends and the majority of your group of friends is smoking. Yet you know that smoking is not good for you and you shouldn't do it. But because of the majority of your friends smoke and you get peer pressure and so you started to smoke. So that is plural ignorance. Next up, I want to discuss about social media. What is social media? So basically, social media is a platform which you can express yourself, express your feeling, express what you feel, express what you think, and it can create a platform where it is free to access anything and everything. So then, what is the correlation between social media and social ignorance? Well, in terms of social ignorance, sometimes we are too focused on scrolling through contents or maybe chatting with our friends that we are not focused on what is going on around us, or our social awareness is very low. And in terms of plural ignorance, since chatting is so easy in online, we can create a group, and from that group, we can be peer pressured on doing something that we shouldn't do. For example, cyberbullying. So next, I want to discuss why is face-to-face communication so important. Well, face-to-face communication is essential in our parts because unlike chatting through online, there are things such as emotions that cannot be expressed through chatting. With face-to-face communication, we can express not only through words but through our actions. We can express our feelings, our thoughts, and many more through face-to-face communication. So there will be the methods and the gathering that I use. There are two. First is qualitative and quantitative research. First up, I want to discuss about the quantitative research. So there are 15 questions of questionnaire that I present towards the students, and there are a total of 63 respondents that respond to my questionnaire from the age ranging 13 until 20. So there are 15 questions, but I will be only discussing 2 questions since the time is not enough. So the first question that I would like to introduce is, does social media actually, does student actually prefer to chat through social media or in real life? And turns out the majority of students, to be exact, 77% of my respondents said that they would rather talk to in real life rather than online, which contradicts my initial hypothesis, which I thought that students would like to chat through online because it's more efficient and way more easier and convenient. The next question is, does social media actually make students lazy to communicate in real life? Well, it turns out that no, social media actually doesn't make students lazy. In fact, 60% said that no, it doesn't make them lazy. Okay, so next up is the expert opinions, or my qualitative research. So for my qualitative research, I interviewed 2 experts, one being Mr. Mingus from the consultation teacher in Sharon, and second being a friend of mine who majors in psychology from UC. Okay, so there are 3 questions that I have stated in my PowerPoint. First up is, what is the difference between chatting and face-to-face communication? So as I said earlier, while chatting is a convenient way to communicate with our friends, as it is less time consuming, less effort, and way more easier, but there are some things that chatting just can't provide that face-to-face communication can, and that is emotion and thoughts, as I said before. Now this ties into my second question. Why does some people can have a good conversation online, but they get awkward when they get face-to-face communication? Well, from one of my experts said that in face-to-face communication, you are required to think. You are required to think about the next topic, about what you want to say, what you're gonna do next. But in online, you can take a break and you can think about what topic you want to say next or what thing you want to say next. So this pressures us to be more awkward when communicating face to face. And so, what are the positives of social medias? It seems like there's just negative that I have been presenting all this time. But actually, social media has lots of positive features in it. First and foremost, there is a thing called you can create a new image in social media. As with social media, you can express yourself freely, express how you think, express how you feel. You can create a new image of yourself that isn't tied with your image in real life. So, for example, if you are known to be the quiet kid, the introverted kid in real life in school, but maybe you want to have a change and you want to be a little more extrovert, you can use social media as a platform or a way for you to achieve that. Another example being, if we don't know a person, a stranger, but we see his profile and the contents that he posts. For example, his contents is all about Christian stuff, there are motivational words, and every day he posts a story about a Bible verse. We can assume that this person is a righteous person, a religious person. So that is the positive of social media. But the self-image can also backfire because through social media, they can have a unjustified personality that isn't actually their real life personality. So they can have what's called like an incognito, so they can like mask themselves with their social media appearance, while their real life appearance is actually far away from what their social media appearance is. Okay, so to sum up my presentation, so my initial hypothesis was wrong, as Students actually prefer to talk in real life more rather than social media, even though with the convenient way, efficient way, and less time consuming way that social media has to offer with its feature like chatting, voice call, or video call, or group call, students actually still prefers to talk in real life, which is a good thing, since the advancements of technology makes you more comfortable and it can make you more lazy. And so there are three recommendations that I would like to give out. The three being for yourself, the students, for the parents, and for the schools. So the first recommendation for yourself as a student is to explore other stuff that isn't just scrolling mindlessly through contents or just chatting with your friends. But social media can be used into a good use by seeing motivational content maybe, or you can study through social media, you can get a new general knowledge, and you can learn a lot from social media. So as a student, you can use that to your advantage. And second is for the parents. So in an article that I read before, child range aging from 13 until 17 have a screen time of 6 until 8 hours, which from the article said it is not healthy. The average screen time that is recommended for students ages 13 until 17 is actually 2 until 4 hours only. So as a parent, you can help your child to limit their screen time by limiting the time they use on social media, on their phone, chatting with their friends, or scrolling through TikTok or Instagram. And last, for my recommendation for the school is to just have a program or have students engage with one another. So have a more fun activity where it requires more creative way for the students to brainstorm with one another and for them to communicate more in school. So this is the reference that I use. And thank you everyone for listening to my presentation. I hope you can learn something new from my presentation. Thank you.